Hello, everybody, here in District 45, northwestern Illinois. My horse Emmons and I here are coming to you from beautiful Leaquina State Park near Lena, Illinois. One of my favorite places to ride over the years. I just love the trails here. If you are a horseman or a horsewoman and have never been here, you need to get that on your bucket list. In about a half a day's time, you can ride some really pretty trails all around the lake. Uh, I don't want to get real long here on some of the concerns I have as I'm working hard to earn your vote for next year's primary and then the bigger vote, of course, in the midterm election a year from now, November of 26. However, I think there's some things that you need to know that I've been looking at and that are first and foremost on my mind. First of all, I'm happy to say that the petition finally went well for me last week. I think most of you saw my post on that. And with a little good grace from the good Lord up above, things will continue to go well, and I will definitely be on that primary ballot in March. One thing that I know is on the top of everybody's minds these days is that government shutdown, especially today as we look at setting, I should say they look at setting a new record on number of days of shutdown. Of course, Donald Trump holds that previous record. I think it's 35 days, something like that. I haven't looked at it yet today, but after tonight, he will have broken his old record. And let's not forget that something he has always talked about is that it's the president of the United States that is to blame more than anybody else if indeed a government has to shut down due to the failings of our congressmen, our representatives, our senators working together. And why do I bring that up? Well, as you know, it's a huge trickle-down effect in that we could talk about everything from the SNAP's benefits problems to Social Security Administration having some slowdowns, air traffic controllers being overworked or not being able to do their work. The list of problems just goes on and on. And the reason I need to address that with the local people here in northwestern Illinois is simply this. The Senator Chesney, whom I am running against, does not seem to think there's a problem with the way our fascist regime is doing things. Now, yeah, that's a mouthful. That's some pretty strong verbiage I'm using there, but let's call it like it is. Everything that we see this federal government of ours do since taking over in January of this year has followed their Project 2025 plan pretty much the way they said that they were going to do. We were all warned. Unfortunately, a lot of us didn't listen or didn't care. And now here we are with some huge problems. I could talk about the farm problems. You know, I think, and I know there's going to be some kickback on this, but I really believe that good farmers out here do not want the government bailouts year after year after year. They're not stupid. They know that those government bailouts come from our taxpayer dollars, the farmers, neighbors, and friends, etc., the blue-collar workers, the lower class, the middle class. It's more taxes from everybody to have to bail out anybody, for that matter, not just the farmers, but anybody that needs bailouts due to the poor fascist policies that we've seen in today's government. Now, the thing that I can't wrap my head around is how so many of our local representatives could be in total lockstep with everything that Donald Trump and company is doing. And yeah, that includes you, Mr. Andrew Chesney. You brag about ICE coming into Chicago and the big crackdown on the so-called illegal immigrants. Yeah, there's a few. There's no doubt about that. And yes, the immigration problem was a very real problem, and we've gotten a pretty good handle on that. But the big but there is, why do we have to be so harsh on these people who are legal, who are here legally, or are in the proper process of becoming legal citizens? To have these thugs jump out of a van and grab the first brown-skinned person they see and wrestle them to the ground, handcuff them while they are trying to get their ID out of their pocket to show that they are legal, is just ludicrous. It is beyond human decency. There's nothing decent about any of that procedure. And for any representative of we the people to think that that's okay is not okay. So I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent here. I think it's well warranted. I don't want to get too depressing here. It's such a gorgeous day again here. And I do want to talk a little bit more about the farm crisis. Again, because for farmers to have to get bailed out because of bad markets due to bad government policies, that to me is a real crisis. A crisis that is created by poor tariffs, poor money, amounts of money given to foreign countries to help their beef production instead of helping the beef farmers here in good old US of A. The problems with China not buying not even close the metric tons of soybeans that they would normally buy, and how we will ever get them back again in the next decade or more as good customers remains to be seen. So just when I promised I wouldn't go long, I may have gone a little long again. I hope you realize, District 45, that I'm working to represent all of you and not just a select few, as has been the case here in recent years. I want to earn your vote. I'm working hard to do everything that I need to do to make sure things go smoothly next year. And I just need to convince more people that I would be a good senator for this district. So more to come later on that. I hope to always do updates whenever I do find the time. And today just seemed like a great time to do another one of my horse videos. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye from Joe Burning for Illinois and my horse Adams.